Hi, my name is Carl and I'd like to talk to you about the Mission Action Planning process. This is a tool to help your church journey forward and think strategically about the mission that God is calling you into, and to think what changes, what things can we do strategically to go forward in that mission. It involves three phases. The first is about fruitfulness indicators, the second is a dreaming phase, and the third is saying, well, okay, what are we actually going to do? Accompanying you through that process is a person called a mission accompanier. EMBA will help assign a person to you, and they will come and visit on several occasions to help guide and steer you through the process, kind of like a wise friend to help you through that process. That first phase is fruitfulness indicators. That's holding up a mirror to the church and asking some questions about how fruitful are you as a church, seen through some different categories. We find that phase normally throws up really good debate and discussion amongst leadership teams or with members about how you are as a church and what is working and what is not working, what areas you might need to attend to. At the end of that phase, you review with the mission accompanier and then move forward to the second dreaming phase. And that's really sort of saying, well, what could be? What could we do as a church? What new ideas, what imagination do we have as a church to strategically move forward? That can throw up all kinds of things. And again, at the end of that phase, the mission accompanier comes to review and refine. But from those good ideas, you now want the God ideas. And that's where the third phase comes in for what will be. Discerning what would God actually have you do and steer your direction looking forward for the next few years or so. Again, the mission accompanier comes and visits to help you refine and discern down those ideas. And from that, you write a plan. Not reams and reams of paper, but write some clear statements to say, okay, over the next few years, these are some things that we're going to do. These are some adjustments we're going to make in different aspects of the church's life, with the aim of us as a church becoming more fruitful in mission. And so out of that comes your plan. It's then time to work that plan. And so the mission accompanier probably won't come back for another year after that. And they will then say, well, what have you done? How has it gone? Let's talk about progress. And remembering that you might have tried something as a church and perhaps it's been a total failure, but you can still learn from that. It's about being constructive and saying, what can we learn? What do we need to adjust? How do we move forward? And you can then decide as a church how many years you roll that forward with a mission accompanier helping you review after each year. So the first three phases typically takes about 9 months of interaction, mission accompanier with the leadership team. Maybe the leadership team also want to consult the members, who probably want to involve your members at a church meeting or in other ways too. And so Ember specified that there are 3 meetings with a mission accompanier in those first 9 months for the 3 phases. But you may discover that there are areas that you want to look at in more depth. There are areas where you want to learn as a church and learn with your members, maybe through a workshop or a special event or meeting or so forth. As you discover those, you can negotiate with the mission accompanier who might be the person to help you have that special workshop. And those are extras that you can work out with them. If you like, think of it as mission consultancy that the mission accompanier or maybe someone else could help you do to help you as a church. If you as a church are applying for an EMBA grant, then you are now obliged to engage in this process as part of the grant process. But it may be that as a church, you want to engage in mission action planning anyway, because you see it as a useful tool to help you think strategically about mission as a church. And EMBA are here to help facilitate and help you do that. They can assign a mission accompanier. For the visits, there are some set fees that EMBA have for each visit to cover the expenses of the accompanier and for their time. And they would expect it would be 3 meetings, but you might have extra consultancy, which you can decide and negotiate as the process unfolds. The whole thing is to look out into the years ahead and see, okay, how is God calling us on mission, and what steps do we need to take to follow and attempt to fulfill that in the name of Jesus?